Hey everybody, it's Harvey Levin from TMZ. I just spent an hour and a half on the phone with Wendy Williams. And I can tell you that the Wendy Williams I spoke to today is the same Wendy Williams that I knew 10 years ago. There was no difference. She was lucid, she was articulate, she was with it. And she was opinionated. I'm not going to get into the specifics because it was an off-the-record conversation. But she wants me to give my evaluation of what I heard. Charlemagne the God was on the phone call as well. And my impressions were precisely what Charlemagne has already said, that Wendy Williams seemed like she could have done her radio show today. There was no lapse in her judgment. There was no hesitation in what she was saying. And I'm not a doctor, but I am alarmed that Wendy Williams has had her freedom taken away from her. And I don't understand exactly why. Wendy doesn't have access to a cell phone in the sense that people cannot call her. If a call is made, it has to be from her out. She doesn't have a laptop. She can't come and go, according to her. And that makes sense because we really haven't seen her out with the exception of her son's graduation. And I have a strong opinion about what may have happened here because Wendy has struggled over the years with some substance abuse, and especially after her divorce. And it's pretty clear from the recent documentary where you see a vodka bottle next to her that Wendy was off the wagon. And Wendy is a substance abuser, but she was clearly clean. When I spoke with her, I know Charlemagne has talked to her numerous times, or at least several times in the past, and he had the same impression. And aside from the various pills that they are giving her there, whatever it is, she seems fine. And when the people in this guardianship she's under say that she is permanently disabled and essentially non-functional, I heard the opposite. I heard somebody who seemed with it, competent. It wasn't even close to the line. It wasn't even close to the line. There is something that needs to be addressed here. The file for this guardianship is sealed in New York. We can't see it. I know they say she has frontal temporal dementia, and she may or may not. But whatever it is, it doesn't seem it's advanced enough, at least from my ear. And I admit I am not a doctor, but I can listen to people, and especially in an hour and a half phone call, I didn't hear an iota of that, of any permanent disability or somebody who was unable to function. So it seems to me that this needs to be addressed. Why is it that Wendy is under such tight wraps in this guardianship? Why is it, even if she were disabled, that people can't call her? Why is it that she doesn't have the ability to communicate the way most people do with emails and texts and cell phones and all? Why is it that she is in this home where there are a lot of people who are 90 years old and others, and she, was describing the house itself, and she wasn't saying it was in deplorable condition. She was saying that it is a really depressing environment, and she doesn't quite understand why she's there. So I think that somebody needs to come forward and explain, why is Wendy Williams in this kind of guardianship where her freedom has been taken away when she seems fine? And maybe let her out with a sober coach 24/7. And if that would solve any issue she has, at least for now, give her freedom back. And if she does indeed have this form of dementia, and it does become a permanent condition where she is profoundly disabled, then reestablish a guardianship. But I have to tell you, it wasn't even close when I heard her talk to me for an hour and a half.